Hello friends, welcome to EduTap and also welcome to the series which we have started for IBPS A4 mains exam, that is agriculture. And this is an MCQ series in which we are going to do lecture number 38 today on pathology of horticulture crops. See guys, I request you to subscribe to our YouTube channel in case you are new here so that you can get daily videos which will be helpful for the preparation of IBPS A4 exam, NABARD exam and various other relevant competitive examinations. And you can also join our Telegram channel so as to get daily updates and free content for your preparation. Guys, we want to tell you about the EduTap Hall of Fame. See, EduTap has been delivering highest selections in India consistently since the past few years in RBI grade B, NABARD grade A, SEBI grade A as well as IBPS A4 exams. And in case you want to know more about the strategies that are followed by toppers, then please do visit our channel where you can find the interviews of the toppers where they discussed about the strategies which they have followed, and they might be helpful in your preparation and planning as well. And we offer courses in RBI grade B, NABARD grade A, NABARD grade B, SEBI grade A, EPFO, AO or EO as well as IBPS AFO mains. And see, in case you want to know more about the courses and the features of the courses, please drop us a mail at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can give us a call also at 8146207241. And also kindly note that the links to the courses have been already provided in the description box. You can go through them as per your convenience. So let's start with the session, guys, now. So friends, here comes the first question, which says which of the following is the causal organism of damping off in chili? So here the correct answer is Pythium aphanidermatum, and this causes damping off in chili, which looks something like this. See, the entire plant is wilting, completely dying off. And here the major symptoms include the seedlings are killed even before emergence in few cases. Water soaking and shriveling in stem, as you can see here. See, it's translucent stem and shriveling, and thereby death of the plant. And here the major factors that favor this infection is moist soils and with poor drainage and 90 to 100% relative humidity, wherein the soil temperature is about 20 degrees centigrade, where this pathogen, it can infect the plants and thereby kill them. Impact of the disease symptoms shown at after sowing of seeds in seed beds, and this will reduce obviously the seed germination percentage, and this majorly affects the young seedlings and their stem. And because of the weakening of the stems, as you can see here, the complete plant or the seedling lodges, and disease affected seedlings are light brownish in color because of lack of food. Diseases spread through seeds and soil. This is also one of the important point that needs to be remembered. How can we manage this? Soil drenching with copper oxychloride 0.25%. This will kill the pathogen. Avoid shade places for nursery establishment. There, this pathogen can survive because at low temperature coupled with moisture, that induces or aggravate this disease. Use recommended seed rate, avoid flooding type of irrigation, and maintain optimum moisture level in nursery. Also, use of Thyram or Captan at 4 grams per kg of seeds for seed dressing, or seed. You can this Captan or Thyram can be applied to the seeds, and then the treated seeds can be sown. This will kill the pathogen on the seeds, as well as it will create a protective cover to the seed. So friends, here comes the next question. Yellow vein mosaic disease of okra, that is bhendi, it spreads by. So friends, this is spread by whitefly, and the whitefly is Bemisia tabaci. And here The whitefly, when it puts it proboscis and it sucks out the sap from the leaf, it releases these pathogens into the leaf, thereby causing the infection. What are the main symptoms? Yellowing of entire network of veins in the leaf blade in the character is a characteristic symptom. As you can see the leaf here, yellowing of veins, and the rest of the leaf, it's still green in color. In severe infections, the younger leaves turn yellow, completely become reduced in size, and the plant is highly stunted. Lack of chlorophyll, no food, stunted growth. The veins of the leaves will be cleared by the virus and interveinal area becomes completely yellow or white. And in a field, most of the plants may be diseased and infection may start at any stage of plant growth. And then this infection restricts flowering and fruiting, and even if they are formed, they would be smaller and harder because no chlorophyll, no photosynthesis. Because of that, the entire yield gets impacted. Yield drastically reduced, and the affected plants produce fruits with yellow or white color, and they are not fit for marketing. And what might be the management practices that can be followed by the farmer? He or she can go for selecting disease resistant varieties to this particular disease, that yellow vein mosaic, like Parbani Kranti, Arka Abhay, Arka Anamika, and Varsha Upahar. The incidence of disease can be minimized. So the virus is transmitted by the whitefly, we know that. So control of these whiteflies can be done. How? For sowing during the summer season, when the whitefly activity is high, the susceptible varieties should be avoided. Along with that, spraying monocrotophos 1.5 ml per liter of water can restrict the spread of this disease. Synthetic pyrethroid should not be used because it will aggravate the situation. Synthetic pyrethroids, they aggravate the population of these whiteflies, thereby again increase in the incidence of this viral infection. It can be controlled by the application of chlorpyrifos 2.5 ml plus neem oil 2 ml per liter of water, and then spraying on the crop. So friends, here comes the next question. The profuse exudation of gum from the bark of the trunk and infection extends up to crown roots is or are the major symptoms of which disease of citrus? So here the symptoms are given, which is common in citrus, and what is the disease in which all these symptoms occur. And here the correct answer is gummosis is the disease which is caused by Phytophthora parmivora. As you can see, this is a symptom. Gum like exudation is being released by the on the trunks. Later sometimes it can even go up to roots also. What are the symptoms? First symptoms are dark staining of bark which progresses into wood inside. Bark at the base is destroyed, resulting in girdling and finally death of the tree. And bark in such part dries, shrinks and cracks, and sometimes even shreds in lengthwise vertical strips. See, as you can see, this is a stem and this is the bark completely covered. They will crack, and vertically these can be, the lengthwise strips can be seen on the bark, which can be removed. Later, the profuse exudation of gum from the bark of trunk and infection extends to crown roots. Prolonged contact of trunk with water, as in flood irrigation, waterlogged areas and heavy soils, they are prone to this disease. And sporangia, the spores of this particular organism, they are spread by splashing rainwater, irrigation water and wind. And what might be the management practices? Injuries to crown roots or base of the stem during cultural operations should be avoided, because those will be the avenues for the entry of this organism into the plant. If lesions has girdled less than half the girth, remove the diseased bark with knife along with that half inch of uninvaded bark. See, with that, along with the diseased one, half more inch of the uninvaded bark, if it is removed, the spread of this disease can be contained. And bark of trunk should be coated with Bordeaux paste. So friends, I want an answer for this. What is this Bordeaux paste? You can comment in the comment section explaining what exactly is Bordeaux paste, and this is one important chemical that is used in for various plants for various diseases. You can add few sentences that also what is Bordeaux paste and in what kind of diseases or in what plants this Bordeaux paste can be used. I'm expecting an answer from you. So friends, here comes the next question. Sigatoka disease, it is one of the important, very important diseases in which crop? Disease Sigatoka disease can be observed in banana crop, where symptoms include leaves showing elliptical spots where the center of the spots turn to light gray color surrounded by yellow halo. As you can see, after a few days that yellow halo will become brown, and the gray color, it's a gray color, this yellow will become brown later. The spots often coalesce, they mix up together. As you can see here, these are the individual spots. Now they have coalesced to here together, forming large irregular patches of dry tissue. Rapid drying and defoliation of leaves are the characteristic feature of this disease in banana sigatoka. Management, obviously removal and destruction of affected leaves. Keep the banana field weed free and remove the suckers timely, because they might be acting as host, alternate host. Avoid planting at close spacing. Give proper spacing for the plants. Provide proper drainage and avoid waterlogging in the fields, which favors the infection of this disease in banana. And then spray 3 times with carbendazim 0.1% or propiconazole 0.1% or mancozeb 0.25% and T-pol, that is sticking agent, so that the whatever chemicals that is being sprayed sticks to the leaves and the plants at 10 to 15 days interval for 3 times at an interval of 10 to 15 days as the disease starts from the initial appearance of as leaf specks. When starting, when the disease starts, you'll find very small specks here and there, as you can see. Later, slowly the symptoms, they develop into this, the smaller ones, then into this little bit bigger spot, bigger elliptical spots. Slowly they coalesce, thereby turning the entire leaf into almost dead. Thereby, yield is affected drastically. It is reduced. So friends, here comes the next question. Which of the following is the most severe disease of potato? And here the correct answer is late blight of potato is one serious disease in potato, because it not only affects the leaves but also the tubers as well. And late blight of potato is caused by Phytophthora infestans, one of the most severe diseases of potato as well as tomato, and symptoms appear late in the season, especially at the flowering stage. That's the reason late blight of potato, and it affects leaves, stem, tubers, entire. That's the reason it causes severe damage to the crop. And what are the symptoms? Water soaked spots appear on leaves, they increase in size, turn purple, brown, and finally black. White growth develops on under surface of the leaves, and ground leaves show symptoms first. In favorable conditions, entire vegetative parts are killed within a day, hence called as blight. Excuse me. This disease spreads to petioles, rachis, and stems slowly from that groundmost leaves and then to other parts of the plant. It frequently develops at nodes as well, and stem breaks at these points and the plant topples over. And in tubers, purplish brown spots and spread to the entire surface on the cutting. The affected tuber shows rusty brown necrosis spreading from surface to the center. This brown necrosis can be observed in the tubers. Management: protective spraying of mancozeb 0.2% to prevent infection of tubers. Tuber contamination is minimized if injuries are avoided at harvest time, and storing of visibly infected tubers before storage. So these all should be avoided. The resistant varieties: Kufri Naveen, Kufri Jeevan, Kufri Alankar, Kufri Khasi Garo, and Kufri Moti. Next, destruction of foliage few days before harvest is beneficial, and this is accomplished by spraying with suitable herbicide. So friends, here are the photographs showing the symptoms of this disease, late blight of potato on leaves as well as on the tubers. So to avoid the contamination of tubers, few days before the harvest, the farmer can spray some herbicide so that whatever the green material, the leaves or the stem part that is above the ground, that will die completely. Thereby, along with that, the pathogen will also die, thereby protecting at least the tubers that are below the ground. So friends, here comes the answer to homework question session, and in the last lecture I had asked you a question saying scientific name of causal organism of powdery mildew in red gram, and this is caused by Levulula torica. And what are the symptoms? Here white powdery growth of the fungus can be seen on the leaf. If this is the leaf, white powdery patches can be seen on the lower surface of the leaf. This is the lower surface, and if you see on the top of the leaf, it will show pale yellow discoloration wherever the fungus is, the fungal attack is there on the lower surface. And this powdery mass, it consists of conidiophores and conidia of this fungus, which again, they can uh, travel through air or water and then attack other plants. In severe cases, the white growth can be seen on the upper surface also. And the severe infection of the fungal leads to premature shedding of leaves and plant remains barren. And thereby, again, what is the impact? Yield reduces drastically. So friends, today's homework question, witch's broom. It is a typical symptom that is observed in mango, and this is caused due to which pathogen? Thank you very much friends for your patient listening, and if you have any queries regarding to anything, kindly write to us at hello@edutap.co.in, or you can give us a call at 8146207241.